Skin the Harder Way Southern T. Back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Shout out my guy Opulent LD. What's good? Op. Shout out my guy MP. What the fuck? What's good? MP. Yo, the Wise was good. Yo, the Wise. Yo, the Wise was good. My guy Op. My guy MP. My guy Slim. My guy Good. Co-host Yoda Wise was good, Yoda. Appreciate you sliding through this thing. We here to have us a boxing conversation this morning, bright and early. I'm sitting outside with the roosters and the crows and the shit. What they say, early bird get the worm. Early bird get the worm today, man. We about to make it do what it do. Now look, a lot of people want to talk about a lot of shit, right? But y'all know Southern T like to talk about the shit that matters, right? And the shit that matter, people got real short memories around this thing, man. Southern T ain't got no short memory. Southern T don't forget. Southern T don't make biased content. He don't make personal content. Southern T be spinning it real, right? Now I remember right after Devin Haney versus Lomachenko, a lot of people around this motherfucker were saying, "Oh, Shakur got in the ring. He want to fight Devin." Even after then, people were saying, "Oh, Devin Haney ducking. He don't want to fight Shakur. Right? Devin Haney getting ready to fight Reed's program right now, right? Devin Haney, as soon as he got out the ring with Lomachenko, said that he wanted to fight. Reed's program, right? So I don't know how people got that Devin was ever ducking, right? Because the first thing he said in that ring before Shakur even got in that ring is that I'm moving up to fight Regis. But Devin Haney is probably moving up to fight Regis, right? Now, I said all that to say this. Twitter, shout out to Shakur Stevenson, right? Because Shakur Stevenson is one of those people on Twitter, he actually does respond to his fans. So shout out Shakur Stevenson for actually responding to his fans on Twitter, right? But a fan, you know, since we like holding people to their words, right? We like making people make quote unquote the best fights available to them, right? So we like making people make, you know, the best fights available to them, right? So somebody hit at Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson was on Twitter, right? Shakur Stevenson said, me and Lomachenko is the fight to make. That's the one I want. That's the one that the people want. That's the one that I'm going after, right? Understandable. Lomachenko is a big name. Understandable. Lomachenko is a big name, right? If you got a Lomachenko fight, make that thing happen, right? Make that thing happen. But Shakur Stevenson also said something, and I'm going to show it to y'all, right? I'm going to show y'all what the fans said. I'm going to show y'all what Shakur Stevenson said. We go do this morning right now, right? This guy name is Mr. Touch a Bag. Don't know who this is, but this Mr. Touch a Bag guy, he hollered at Shakur Stevenson, right? He said, when he say no, please wait. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go from the very beginning, right? Let me bookmark that tweet. This is Shakur Stevenson. This is Shakur Stevenson to Vasil Lomachenko. He said, "Yo, champ, Vasil Lomachenko. See how he came with him with so much respect, but he came at Devin, somebody who looked like him, with so much disrespect, right? But I digress, right? This is the tweet, right? Shakur Stevenson said, "Yo, champ, Vasil Lomachenko, let's make the highest skill level fight happen. I want to give true boxing fans a spectacular night of boxing at the highest level," right? That's the first thing that he said to Lomachenko, right? And then he came back a couple days later, right? Right? And then he came back a couple days later, right? And then he called Vasil. I won't go exact. I won't say exactly what he said, right? But that's the first thing he said. He came to Vasil Lomachenko with respect. He said, "Yo, let's make the highest level fight happen. The fight that the people want to see is me and you," right? And then he came back. To Vasil Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, right? Like that was about 6 days. That was 6 days ago. He came back 7 hours ago, right? He just came back 7 hours ago, right? And he said, "Man, was 17 hours ago." He said, "Man, Vasil Lomachenko, I used to have a lot of respect for you, but you just as scary as everybody else. I see. You rather retire than go get in the ring with me," right? So that's Shakur Stevenson. So 6 days ago, Shakur Stevenson said, "Vasil Lomachenko, let's make the fight happen. And then 17 hours ago, he the one that put out there that Vasyl Lomachenko is probably considered retiring, right? Now, on the same day, I just showed you a tweet, right? I just showed you a tweet where Shakur Stevenson reached out to Vasyl Lomachenko. He said, "Hey, Vasyl, let's make a fight happen. Let's give the fans the highest level of boxing fight that they could want," right? Okay, on that same, I'm about to show you another tweet, right? Here we go. Here we go. That was 6 days ago. Y'all see that King Judah was good. King Judah, appreciate you sliding through. And I'm getting somewhere with this. Y'all see that was six. Y'all see that was 6 days ago, right? And then I showed you what he put 17 hours ago about Lomachenko retiring and him being the duck and not wanting to fight, right? So the same 6 days ago, Mr. Touch Your Bag, right? This is the same 6 days ago. You see Mr. Touch Your Bag? This is after he put out the good tweet to Vasyl, right? Mr. Touch Your Bag said, when he say no, talking about Lomachenko, right? Mr. Touch Your Bag said, when he say no, please target Frank Martin. We know that guy is going to say yeah, right? So Mr. Touch Your Bag told Shakur Stevenson, when Lomachenko say no, please target Frank Martin because we know that Frank Martin is going to say yes, right? This is what Shakur Stevenson said, right? He said, yeah, if Loma says no, he is first in line to get this wreck for sure. So Shakur Stevenson said, if Lomachenko says no, this guy asked him to fight Frank Martin, and he said, Shakur Stevenson, right out his mouth, said, yeah, if Lomachenko says no, Frank Martin is first in line to get this wreck for sure, right? That was 6 days ago. Now, he came back 17 hours ago again. I just showed you. He came back 17 hours ago and said, man, Vasyl Lomachenko, I used to have a lot of respect for you, but you just as scary as everybody else I see. You rather retire than get in the ring with me. You know, your life. He said, you rather retire than get in the ring with me. So if we going off strictly what Shakur Stevenson said, nothing else. Shout out my guy BC, what's good, BC? If we going strictly off what Shakur Stevenson saying, nothing else, nothing more than nothing less than what Shakur saying. Shakur Stevenson should be hitting Frank Martin up today. He should be going directly towards Frank Martin today. Now, some people go want to come make videos about, oh, Shakur, Lomachenko duck Shakur, Lomachenko duck Shakur. Man, everybody's not ducking Shakur, right? If Lomachenko don't see value in fighting you, Shakur, then he's not going to fight you. Lomachenko has to see a value in you to fight you. He won't fight Devin years ago. He'll fight Devin now because he said he saw value in Devin. He said he saw value in Devin. Now, Naze, I don't even care if he fight Lomachenko. I don't care if he fight Lomachenko, Naze. Shout out my guy Naze. What's good, BC? TWT in the business. Get everybody some love today. True Allah. Naze, I want him to go after Frank Martin like he said. We shouldn't be giving Lomachenko no smoke. Nah, for what? Don't know about it. We don't care. No, we shouldn't. I'm finna play it. I'm finna show it to y'all again, right? Frank Martin said that he wanted to fight Lomachenko. He said if he can't make Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson said he want to fight Lomachenko. He said if Lomachenko say no, then he going straight at Frank Martin. He said he going straight at Frank Martin. You know what I mean? So what I need him to do now, going forward, since he put out there in the air that Lomachenko was going to retire, I need him to go at Frank Martin. He calling out everybody that don't want to fight him. They already got fights. Devin Haney said he wanted to fight Regis as soon as that fight was over. Shakur got in the ring and said, I want to fight Devin. Devin just told you he moving up to fight Regis as soon as his fight was over with Lomachenko. So how did Shakur and Devin even become a thing? Now he's saying he want to fight Loma. He said, if Loma don't want to fight me, Frank Martin first in line. This dude said, when Loma say no, please target Frank Martin. We know he gonna say yeah. Shakur Stevenson said, if Loma says no, Frank Martin will be first in line to get this wreck for sure. So he not calling everybody out. Because he got a Frank Martin fight that he said he won't. Shakur said this. This is what he said to Loma. He said, yo, Loma, let's make the highest skill level fight happen. I want to give true boxing fans a spectacular night of boxing at the highest level. This dude said, when Loma say no, please target Frank Martin. We know he go say yeah. Shakur Stevenson said, yeah, if Loma says no, Frank Martin will be first in line to get this work, right? Well, and then Shakur Stevenson, he came out 17 hours ago, right? He came out 17 hours ago, right? Shakur Stevenson, he came out 17 hours ago. And Shakur Stevenson put this in the air, not nobody else, about Lomachenko retired. He said, man, Vasil Lomachenko, I used to have a lot of respect for you, but you just as scary as everybody else. I see you rather retire than get in the ring with me. And he called them a buck. And he called him a duck, right? He called him a duck. But what he said 6 days ago was that if Loma said no, Loma already said no. He said he go holler at Frank Martin. He go run down Frank Martin. So what he need to be doing now is running down Frank Martin, like he said he would go do. A lot of people go get on here this morning and talk about Lomachenko duck, Lomachenko duck, Lomachenko duck, Lomachenko duck. All right, we know. Okay, that's cool. Lomachenko also ducked Devin Haney them years back because you don't have nothing to offer him. You know what I mean? He don't find value in Shakur, right? But I want to talk about what Shakur said he was going to do, since we all care about what Shakur said so much, right? You know what I mean? My bad, y'all. But I digress. So Shakur said that if Loma said no, right? Which Shakur just put out that Loma said no, that he probably go retire, that he would rather retire. So Shakur put out there that if Lomachenko said no, right, he would be in a direct beeline towards Frank Martin. Now people gonna make videos, Lomachenko duck Shakur, you know, right? The Shakur fans, right? All 20 of them, they gonna be like, Shakur, Loma duck Shakur, cool, he can have it. Loma duck Devin out them years ago too, because he ain't see value in Devin. Devin had a belt. Devin was the mandatory for his belt. He still didn't see value in Devin. So what make you think he gonna see value in Shakur fighting for a vacant belt? You know what I mean? But that ain't what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Shakur Stevenson saying that he go target Frank Martin if Lomachenko fall through. And that Lomachenko fight just fell through. You know what I mean? That Lomachenko fight just fell through. What's good? You chatted my guy Nazay. I see Nazay came in the bit. I'm gonna give everybody they love today. That Lomachenko fight just fell through. Shakur Stevenson was the one that let us know that Lomachenko is probably going to retire, right? Shakur Stevenson also the one that said, you know, if I can't fight Lomachenko, I want to fight Frank Martin. So we literally ignored, we ignoring everything everybody else say. Devin said, I want to fight Reach Program 140. Now we gonna make you fight Shakur because he want to fight you, right? So if Shakur out his own mouth, right? If everybody's supposed to be ducking this guy, right? Shakur out his own mouth said, I want Frank Martin if I can't get Lomachenko. Are we go jump out on their legs, and are we go hold Shakur Stevenson to his word? Because if we holding everybody else to their words, right? The first thing Devin said was, I want to fight Regis. He did that. Shakur Stevenson said, I want to fight Lomachenko for the best skill versus skill fight. And he said, if they don't fall through, I want Frank Martin. Well, Lomachenko ain't gonna fight you. So I would assume right now that Lomachenko out the window, I would assume that now that Lomachenko was out the window, right? You go do what you said you was gonna do, not nobody else, right? Not nobody else. Nobody put a gun to your head, right? Nobody said this. Nobody made you say this. You told this to a fan on Twitter. A fan on Twitter asked you. A fan on Twitter asked you when Lomachenko say no, because that fan already knew that Lomachenko was going to say no. The fan asked you when Lomachenko say no, target Frank Martin. You said cool. So now what I'm expecting, right? I don't care that you could say Loma ducked him or whatever. Loma didn't find value in Shakur Stevenson. He doesn't find value in Shakur Stevenson. This is not outside of the realm of how Lomachenko moves. Lomachenko didn't find value in Devin Haney as a mandatory, right? So I'm not surprised Lomachenko don't find value in Shakur Stevenson for a vacant belt. You know what I mean? But this is what Shakur Stevenson said. And check the dates. Check the dates. 6 days ago. 6 days ago, this guy said, when he say no, please target Frank Martin. We know he go say yes. Shakur Stevenson said, yeah, if Loma says no, he's first in line to get this wreck for sure. So if Frank Martin, so Shakur said if Lomachenko says no, Frank Martin is first in line to get this wreck for sure. Yesterday, Shakur Stevenson came out and he told Vasil Lomachenko, he said, man, Vasil, I used to have a lot of respect for you, but you just as scary as everybody else I see. You rather retire than get in the ring with me. And he called him a duck. So if Vasil Lomachenko is going to retire and not get in the ring with you, I need you to spin the block. I need you to spin the block on this tweet, right? This is what I want to see. I want to see Shakur versus Frank Martin. Devin Haney about to fight Regis Prograis, right? And we're going to talk about Regis Prograis and Devin Haney saga because, you know, it's going to be a lot of dorks on here that's going to tell you what Regis said about Devin too, but they ain't going to tell you the context of why Devin said what he said. You know what I mean? They ain't going to tell you the context of why Devin said what he said. Devin Haney want to move that fight date, but Devin Haney want to move that fight date because it's on the same day as Tyson Fury fight, right? That's what Regis not getting. We got to talk about that in just a second. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through this thing. Skin the Hardaway Sudden See. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look.